friends, it's Amanda here from Fun Hands-On Learning, and today we're going to talk about these interactive literacy binders that I've created for my young kiddos. So if you have a student that is pre-K or kindergarten, maybe even beginning first grade, or has special needs, and you would like an interactive literacy binder so that you can teach them how to read, keep watching. This is the corner of our schoolroom where I keep the binders. You can see them here in this white basket, and they sit up here and they are ready to easily grab and use with my students. We open up and the first page is just an alphabet page where the students can either, if they're working on letter recognition or letter sounds, they can just say them. So they could say A, B, C, D like that, and then they would color in a smile. Or they can say the sounds A, B, K, D, and so on, and color in a smile. I have some dry erase markers here that I'm going to let my students use with these. The next 2 pages are the alphabet matching capital and lowercase letters. I have everything on here with Velcro, okay? Now, the nice part about this set of pages is that after they match up their letters, you can also use the letters to make words or whatever you want. So, for example, I could go ahead and have my students make the word bed, right? B-E-D, bed. Or I can make them the word cab, C-A-B, cab, or so on. You can use it for all sorts of things. And so this way, my students have their own set of letters with them at all times, which I think is pretty cool. So not only is it great for matching the capitals to the lowercase, but you can also use it then for lots of other reasons. So that's this set of pages. So the next set is matching the pictures to the letters. And so you can see here I have them Velcro again. So letter D is dinosaur, E is elephant, and so on. So we have a set of those. Then we have some fluency pages. These are just practicing our alphabet sounds. So we have A, S, W, K, I, O, P, D, A. And then they would color the smile and go on. So there's those 2. Then we have our vowel page. So here we are matching up A, E, I, O, U. And of course, I always like to do the song with this. A for apple, F for elephant, I for inchworm, squirming all around, A for octopus, living in the sea, A for umbrella, to keep the rain off me. Now I said my vowels, A, E, I, O, U. Tell me what you think of this song I sang for you. There you go, okay? So you can have the students take their vowels off and match them up, do the song. It's really great practice to do it every single day. This page is obviously for tracing, so you would use your dry erase markers. You could see that one of my kiddos was already doing that, and they were tracing letters earlier. And then here's the lowercase letter page. And then after they trace them, they can say the sounds and color in the smile. Okay, this page is for doing more sounds, but it's with pictures. So they would do it like this. Book, b. Oh, lemon, oh. Apple, frog, watermelon, and then they're going to take their dry erase marker and color in the smile because they did it properly. And then they would do this section. And down here, they're matching the letters. So more letter matching, but they're matching beginning sounds. So you could take these off, and then you get the idea. You're just going to match F for elephant, N for nest, R R for robot, T for tree. All right, there's another page of those. So more practice with the sounds up here and then more matching letters down here. Now we're getting into our beginning blends, and these are blend letters. So they would read them like this. Ba, be, bi, ba, ba. When they get to the top of the ladder, they're going to color in their smile. Ka, ka, ki, ka, ka. And if your students need to sound out each letter, that's fine. So if they need to say d, a, da, d, a, da, d, I, di, d, a, da, d, a, da, they can go ahead and do that, and that's no problem. All right, so there are all the blend letters here with beginning sounds and the vowels. And then once you get to this page, they start matching up pictures to different blends. So here's some more examples of that. So k, a, ka for cat. Fi for fish. N, a, ne for nest. You get the idea. And sa for sun. And then there's another whole page of those. And of course, they're just going to match them up. You need a lot of Velcro dots for this, but I think it's worth it. Here are some reading pages with short vowels. So they're going to read the short vowels just like we did with the lens, which was here. Okay, they're going to read the short vowel words. K, at, cat. F, in, fin. You get the idea? They say each sound with the dot. They blend it together with the arrow. When they get to here, p, an, pan. They get to all the way to the end. They can get the color in their smile. Now, the other part of this page that's pretty cool is they trace the pictures that are on the bottom. And after they trace the picture, then they will circle the word up on top that matches the picture. So if I go ahead and trace the bed, let's say. This is really, really bad, but I'm trying to do it super fast. Okay, so I trace the bed, then I'm going to come up here and find the word bed and circle it. All right, after I've read everything. And then I would do the same thing with cat and rug. And here's another page of them. Okay, same kind of concept. All right, this page is matching short vowel words, and I made it with bubbles. So what they're going to do is with the bubbles, they're going to match up short vowel words. Okay, so bag.
Okay, bag.
Hi. And what's this one?
Hen.
Hen. Log. I'm going to fix that one. Net. Okay, so those are short vowel words. So here's a page of sight words. Now, I'm using the sight words that we're working on, but I'm putting in the download. If you want to download these sheets for yourself, you can download this binder for yourself, and I have an editable page where you can write in your own sight words if you don't want to use mine. But it will be there, mine will be in there, but you can also put your own sight words in there. And your students are going to read the sight words and then color the smiles. And then we have Sparky the dog, and here are the sight words. So I have all of my sight words written here. So it's all of these words that we're working on are on little cards. I put the cards in a plastic sleeve so it kind of just holds it in the binder, okay? So I put those in here. And what you do is you take a sight word, you put it on the first bone. So first we read it, said, then we're going to build it. So we're going to use our letters here, S, A, I, D. So you need some magnetic letters, okay?
Okay.
And then the last thing we're going to do is the students will write it with their dry erase marker. My goodness, it's hard to do it one-handed. And then they can take that one off, get another sight word, and do it all over again. So that is in here. I'm excited about this page for doing sight words. I'm considering making a page like this for spelling words as well for my kids, especially like my first grader. I think that would be great to have something like this for him to put his spelling word here, build it and write it, and type up all his spelling words. So if you're interested in like having a mat like this made up for spelling words too, let me know in the comments below. And then I can share that with you guys as well, because I'm thinking of making that for him. But for now, I have sight words in here. I love it. These are all editable on the download, so you can type in your own sight words and they can do their own with whatever sight words you're working on. So there's that. Then we have the last part, which is word families. All right, so for word families, what they're going to do is they're going to read the word family, and then they're going to match up pictures from the page. So let's look here. We have the ag word family. So they're going to read bag, rag, sag, tag, wag. And then they're going to find pictures that would go with the word family. So I have bag, and I also have tag. All right, same thing here. Can, dan, pan, ran, van, the an word family. And then they can find pictures that match those. All right, you get the idea. So we have short vowel word families. So it starts with short A word families. It goes into short E, then short I word families, short O, short U, and then when you get to the very end, students can make their own word families. So for this one, you could make words. So you could say dab and tab and gab, or whatever you want. You got to make words. Had, sad. All right. So students can make their own words down here. And that is the end. That is the entire literacy interactive binder. If you are interested in getting this binder for your students, check out the link below. I have it in my website. You can either get it off of Teachers Pay Teachers, or you can get it from funhandsonlearning.com. Either way, and I hope your kids enjoy it. I'm super excited to use it with my students this year. And I'm planning also on making a math one and kind of revamping the calendar skills one that I already have on the website, and kind of making a new one and making a math one. And then I'm going to combine them together in their binder. So I'm first going to have the literacy one here, and then I'm going to have the math one after it. Somehow. So I plan on doing that, but I have not made the math one yet. When I do, I will of course share it with all of you. There are also cover pages for this binder that I am including in the download that you can edit yourself and put your own student's name in. Okay, so these are what the covers look like, and I made them editable so you can pick which child you want for your cover, and then you can also type in your student's name right here. So these are kind of what they look like. Those are the boys, and then there's girl ones too. I just printed out one for my son, and it looks like this. I think it's super cute. So there you go. There's multiple different covers you guys can choose from. All right, we will see you in the next video, and as always, happy learning. Bye.